Hello, good morning. So in first part, we discuss the hematopoietic type of the stem cells as well as other type of the cell. Just introduction of we are discuss here. So in the first part, we studied that different types of the stem cells, that is pluripotent, totipotent, as well as multipotent, oligopotent, and unipotent, like that. And we studied that depending upon the potency character and self-renewable characteristic, as well as depending upon the organs and the functions, different types of the stem cells are there. Adult stem cell, embryonic stem cells, and we also discuss how they are important because they are performing very important type of the function in immunity also. So now we are studying here in the second part what is the application or what is the major significance of the stem cell. Now we know very well the stem cell derived in the bone marrow and they are from the blastocyte, then different types of the totipotent type of the cells are different types of the cells we discuss here. Adult stem cell, embryonic stem cells, totipotent stem cell, oligopotent, unipotent, multipotent, and we also discuss how they are differentiated and how they are different from one another. But now we should know very well that what is the application, what is the significance of stem cells, how they are important and why they are important. So, the stem cells they can be used for organ forming, like that means kidney, heart, liver, and many others. So they are used to develop certain organs. Whenever the certain organs are irreparably get damaged, and whenever the function is not properly there, or whenever they are not properly functioning, so to restore their major function, we have to develop these organs. And whenever the organs are have to be developed, we can use stem cells. So we know umbilical cord and the cord of the small baby or infants, it is the major source of the stem cell. And if we store such type of the cords, then from the cords we can develop stem cells of that particular individual. And whenever he needed during his lifetime, so we can use the source of the stem cell for development of that type of organs in that particular individual. So this is major application of the stem cell. And nowadays variety that means in various fields in that means for example in therapy for different diseases as a research tool also we can use the stem cell. So they can be used for transplantation as well as for testing new drugs and medicine also. So as I said that they can be used for research purpose or research tool, and whenever the particular organ, whenever particular drug, particular medicine newly discovered, for the testing of such type of the new drug and medicine also, we can use stem cell. In transplantation, what is transplantation? Whenever the organ is damaged, whenever the organ is not functioning properly, due to some accidental cases, the organs get irreparably damaged, and we are going to transfer the organ from the one individual to another individual. For example, also you know very well the kidneys are failure sometimes. Kidneys are not properly functioning, so kidney transplantation is also done. The kidney donors donate their kidneys and they're applied on the recipient body, and that is the kidney transplant. So transplantation means what? The graft transplantation or the organs are obtained from one individual and they're applied on the other individual to restore the function, and it is expected that the organ should be functioning very well in that individual. So it is the transplantation process. So in such type of the transplantation also we can use the stem cells. So this is very having the wide application nowadays because so many problems, so many diseases, so many disorders are there in the community. So in order to treat these disorders, in order to treat such type of the diseases and disorders also in individuals, we can use stem cell as a therapeutic purpose. So therapeutic purpose, treatment purpose, diagnostic purpose, transplantation purpose, and for the testing of new drugs and medicine, we can use stem cell. And therefore we have to study the stem cells. This is the application. Now we discuss the next part of this topic, that is the classification of the cells of immune system. In introductory part, we discuss what is immunity. The immunity is the protective response given by the body. So immunity actually is of two types, humoral and cellular. The humoral immunity means antibody mediated immunity, which is developed by the B cells. And cellular immunity means it is the immunity developed by T cells. So T cells are predominantly involved in the CMI, that is cell mediated immunity. Now we are going to discuss what are different types of the cells of the immune system. So basically immune system comprises two different type of the cells, lymphoid cells and myeloid cells. The myeloid cells includes granulocytes, monocytes, macrophages cell type. Lymphoid cells includes T cells, that is thymus dependent cells, B cells, Bursa or Fabricus dependent cells, NK cells, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells. So immune system comprises two types of the cells, myeloid and lymphoid. Myeloid cell type includes granulocytes, monocytes, macrophages. All these are cell types. Lymphoid cell types includes T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, dendritic cells. Now we will discuss each type of the cell type in brief its structure and functional significance. So this chart show you the major type of the cells. So this is, you can see here, the lymphocyte is also there, granulocytes including basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil, granulocyte, monocyte is also there, and these are the common type of the lymphoid cell system, which including small lymphocyte, large lymphocyte, etc. So here this chart show you very well the structure of each type of the cell. Here the granulocyte means basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil. These are granulocyte because they are having granules. And we see that these type of the cells, they can be differentiated depending upon the nature or structure of the nucleus. In some case, we find that the nucleus is multi-lobed. In some case, we find the nucleus is bilobed. In some case, we find nucleus is kidney shaped. So depending upon the shape, depending upon the type of the nucleus, the cell can be differentiated into different cell types. So this is the picture showing hematopoiesis, as I said earlier. So here we see T cells, B cells, basophils, then neutrophil, eosinophil, etc. So all these are the myeloid cell types. So what is the myeloid cell type? The myeloid cell type, these cells includes granulocytes, macrophages, monocyte. Okay, granulocyte means what? These are having granules in the cytoplasm. Monocyte means a granulocyte. They are not having the granules. Only nucleus is there. Macrophages are wandering histocytes. So all these are including in the myeloid cell type. So granulocytes, these are a category of white blood cells in the immunity, in the innate immunity. Innate immunity. Innate means the immunity which is basically present in the body in the small children, in small infants. So the immunity which is inborn, it is called as innate immunity. So granulocytes are the category of white blood cells which are present in the innate immunity, which basically involved in the innate immunity. And these are characterized by granules in the cytoplasm. Granulocyte means having granules in the cytoplasm. See, these cells are blood cells actually. Basophil, eosinophil, neutrophil or granulocyte. They can be demonstrated by blood staining. If we carry out the blood staining, preparing blood smear, and after staining the blood smear with Leishman stain, then we can easily differentiate the eosinophil, basophil, neutrophil, small lymphocyte, large lymphocyte. We can easily identify them and we can easily count their number also, depending upon just the presence and absence of granules as well as depending upon the nucleus structure. Whether the nucleus is multilobed, whether it is bilobed, whether it is kidney shaped. So depending upon the nucleus type or structure, we can divide and identify them easily. So Leishman stain is the basic stain which is used for blood smear or blood staining. Romanowsky stain is also there. So Leishman stain and Romanowsky stain we can use for observation of these type of the cell type in the blood or granulocyte especially. So these are the cells which are having granules in the cytoplasm and which is usually lobed into different segments into sometime it may be segmented into three lobes whenever sometime they are segmented into kidney shape like. So depending upon the segments, depending upon the lobes, we can identify them easily. So granulocytes include neutrophil, basophil and eosinophil. First three types are there, which includes in granulocyte cell type. Granulocyte or granulocyte. Granulocyte means containing granules in the cytoplasm. Granulocytes means they are not having granules, only nucleus and cytoplasm. The first one is the neutrophil. So neutrophil, it is the major type of the cell because it comprises near about 50 to 75% of total WBCs in the blood. So neutrophil, if we count the blood cell type, we find that the neutrophil number is high in the normal blood also. So neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil cell count is also having very much significance because the normal percentage is, it should be there in the normal individual. If the cell number, that means neutrophil number is high, basophil number is high, or the eosinophil number is high, so if the number is either increasing or decreasing, then it reflects the blood defects or blood abnormalities. So this is very important to count the each blood cell type, whether it is neutrophil, basophil, eosinophil, whatever it may be. So this means the percentage of the each cell type is specific and normal in normal individual. So neutrophil approximately comprises 55 to 70% of the total WBCs. And these are having the multi-lobe nucleus, means when we observe under microscope after preparation of the blood smear and blood staining, then we observe the multi-lobe nucleus. Many lobes we observe there along with the granules. So their number increases after inflammation and certain infections also. When the inflammation is there, inflammation means swelling is there, the blood capillaries get swelled, that is the inflammation. So in inflammation and whenever there is a certain types of the infections by germs or any other bacteria, so we find the number of neutrophils increasing. And these granules contain enzymes like collagenase, elastase, and lysozyme. So in neutrophil we find granules, no doubt, but these granules also contain certain enzymes including collagenase, elastase, and lysozyme. Each type of the enzyme is having its own significance in immune response or in immunity. They perform some type of the some or other role in mounting the immunity. So the first one is the neutrophil having granulocyte type, which comprises 55 to 70% of the total WBCs, and they are having multi-lobe nucleus, and they can be that means they are the granules containing the enzyme including collagenase, elastase, lysozyme, etc. The second one is the eosinophil. The eosinophil, these are also including in the granulocyte. They are also WBC type, but they comprises the number is less 6 to 10% totally of the total WBCs. The number is somewhat less as compared to granulocyte. So if we demonstrate under microscope, we find that the bilobed type of the nucleus in eosinophil. So generally, the eosinophil number, we find that the 6 to 10% is the normal range. But in some cases, in hypersensitivity or in the allergic reaction, the number of eosinophils go on increasing. That is called as eosinophilia. So the number is increases, the number go on increasing whenever there is allergic condition or whenever there is a hypersensitive reaction condition or whenever there is a parasitic infection. So during hypersensitivity, during allergy, the number of eosinophil go on increasing. That is one of the significance of eosinophil. The next one is the basophil. The basophil also one of the important type of the granulocyte in the WBC. but it comprises near about 0 to 1% of the total WBC because the number is less here. And basophil, we find kidney-shaped nucleus here along with the granules. The number of basophil increases, particularly in the leukemia on certain types of the cancer. And these leukocyte, or these basophils, they release certain type of the mediators, including heparin as well as serotonin and histamine, and they also responsible for inducing inflammation. So their number also increases in cancer condition or in leukemic condition or in leukemia, and this particular significance is there. The number increases during the leukemia or in blood cancer especially, and this type of the cells they are producing certain mediators including heparin as well as serotonin as well as the you can say the histamine, serotonin, and heparin. And heparin, which is produced by the particular type of the cell, this heparin it prevents the blood clotting. So the significance of heparin is the preventing blood clotting. So this is one significance of the basophil. So these are the myeloid cell type.